Highway. This is Allendale. This is Grant City. It's south of you guys in Grant City and Allendale. It's just south of Denver. It's southeast of Worth. If you're in the warning, I do believe, still in Yard. Let's look at this, and I'll throw the warning back on so we can see who's in it and who's not. Sometimes it's good to know that. So it's not popping up on us here. Let's go back to the Doppler, and I'll pause it. We'll get a look at the warning. It's just to the east of Gentry and moving east at about 30 miles per hour. I'm going to get you a track here in just a moment, and we'll see. Let's get the lightning off so we can see what we're working with. There we go. And okay, so if you are west of 169 highway, the threat is past you. All right, so there's State Highway N. We still have this big area back here that's included in the warning, but it looks like the rotating part of the storm would be east of there, getting close to Eleanora. And there it is right there, just east of Gentry. Okay, so let's get a track on this. I'm going to leave this, the Doppler winds. These Doppler winds can really help find where the storm is and help us with our track so we can tell you where it's going to be next. So we'll go 30, pretty much due east. It's going to be getting up on 35. If you know anybody that's in this area, let them know. You know, their phone will probably go off if you're in this area and you have the emergency alert system activated on your phone. You have to go into settings and turn that on. Then your phone probably went off. There may be sirens going off. But hey, if you have anybody that may be driving on 35 through northern Missouri, crossing over into Iowa, give them a call. Let them know, hey, you need to stop south of Gentry that's over here to our west and pause them before they get here. This may be crossing over. If they're driving from Iowa south, call them, let them know, stop at the Iowa border. So Albany Municipal be about 419. That's right now. So next would be New Hampton, and then Martinsville. That would be 444 for Martinsville. Bethany. So Bethany's over here closer to it's in Harrison County. That's closer to I-35. That would be right around 5 o'clock, and Gardner would be at about 5:06. Let's get back to the chat, see if we have anything here. They're continuing this warning. This warning goes, let's get back to the Doppler and see how long this warning will be going. They're usually about a half hour. So let's pause this, get you the data there. Is it saying confirmed now? It looks like it might be confirmed. That's a black box. That means tornado confirmed. It is now a confirmed tornado. Let's get you the data there. Let's get the latest here. See what we have. Okay, tornado warning. It says confirmed. It was located near Albany, moving east at 30. So this is now confirmed. Warning goes until 4:45. We're rather far from the radar. Again, you know, when we get up here in northern Missouri, we're between two radars. We've got the one that's in Omaha. We've got the one that's in Pleasant Hill on the southeast side of the Kansas City metro. You get kind of sandwiched in between up here in northern Missouri. So it's good that we have eyeballs on this, and it has been indeed confirmed. It's labeled as a damaging tornado. A law enforcement officer has confirmed this. Let's see if we can spot it in a couple different ways by either looking at the radar winds, which we showed you earlier. I'm going to try something else here and see if this is throwing any debris into the air. Sometimes we can see it that way. And we might, if it's moved faster than I thought, it's probably a little further west. What I'm looking at here, this is, if there's debris thrown up in the air, you usually get a little blue ball. I don't see a blue ball. Let's see a little something there. That's on the far east side of Gentry County. Let's see if that lines up with our Doppler winds. No, that's not it. It would be further west than that. Okay, so we're not seeing debris necessarily, but this is a confirmed tornado. Gentry, it is to your east, looking like it's over the community of Eleanora. It's south of Denver. This is Siloam Springs. It's southwest of you. It might miss you just to the south in Siloam Springs. Eleanora, it's in your area right now. Confirmed tornado, labeled as damaging. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. And if you're out ahead of this, if you're in Martinsville, here's Martinsville. It's going to be moving here rather quickly. It'll be there probably in about 15 minutes, something like that. And still there. There's our latest scan. You just saw the scan update. This is 136 Highway. This is 46 Highway, so south of Allendale. It looks like it's just north of Albany. This is 169 Highway. Gentry, you are out of it. And Worth, you're out of it. Denver, it's going to miss you to the south. We need to watch at Washington Center, Martinsville, maybe eventually Brooklyn. New Hampton most likely will miss you just to the north. All right, see if we can find out anything else here coming on chat. I'm going to be reviewing the Twitter, X rather, and see if we can see any video coming in out of this. So what happened here, I'll get you back to the Doppler. We had this arm of storms that fired up coming in out of Kansas. This is kind of a warm front type feature, and we had a late fuse tornado watch that was issued because these storms powered up rather quickly. And the watch was issued by just before 2 o'clock, and by just after 2 o'clock, we had tornado warnings. These things just started spinning up here. This is not the main event for the Kansas City metro area and points south. That is going to be down here. This is going to be the main event for those of us south of this line. South, St. Joe and point south, we're waiting on this. We're going to have to watch these cells here. These are getting into a favorable environment. Southwest of Kansas City, looking around the Lawrence area. We're going to be focusing on those next, most likely. But at the moment, we do have the confirmed tornado that's up here in Gentry County, about to cross over into Harrison County, and it's moving east at about 30. Warren, you seeing anything that I missed there with that?
Nope, just some, everything I've seen on X is just rotating wall clouds, and so I don't have any confirmation. I've been trying to keep a close look. I don't know if you want to jump back on the Max 2 box and I go Max 1 here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's do that. So we have a little system that we've got going on here, and so yeah, the tornado warning in effect is until let's just get another little hash on this here. A tornado warning in effect for parts of Gentry and Harrison counties until 4:45, and this is moving generally to the east, right around 30 miles per hour. So let's take a deeper dive here in on this rotation, just because this could be, again, on the ground. We have this is a fairly small polygon, so they might have to extend it here. But this is kind of at the edge of the box here, the polygon, the tornado warning. So Martinsville and right on that Gentry and Harrison County line is where we would have that rotation. Let me stop it here. And it would likely be just kind of past Eleanor. You see these bright kind of reds and light reds, and then a little bit of the darker shade. That's a good indication of that rotation there. So we've seen confirmation of a rotating wall cloud. I don't have any eyes on any sort of tornado video or footage, but this black box here, the tornado warning goes black here with the edges if it is observed. So we have seen something connect to the ground already. So let's treat this that it is on the ground and moving to the east, northeast. So Martinsville, again, you're going to be next, and this is moving around 30, so it wouldn't take too long to get to I-35. So that's something that we need to keep a close eye on. Big picture look here. This is this cluster of thunderstorms up to the north here that's been riding in northwest Missouri. It is lifting up with a warm front here. There's a lot of moisture in place today. The ingredients are good. We have moisture. We have a lot of moisture from the Gulf coming in. We have lifting mechanisms, so stuff to get the thunderstorms moving up in the vertical direction. And then a different feature is helping spark these up the turnpike right now. So all of this coming together and likely will be a really noisy evening here for us. So again, a confirmed tornado. And that is going to be in parts of eastern Gentry County now. And sometimes this looks like it might have just been a quick
spin up,
but still seeing indications of rotation. So we don't want to take this lightly, but not seeing as strong of an indication that maybe it's still on the ground. It's tough. So what was happening earlier is a lot of these storms were actually rain wrapped. And this one might have a little bit of a clearing. Still, we don't recommend trying to spot this tornado or funnel or rotation just because of the nature of all the rain and all of the lightning around the vicinity. But there might be a little bit of a dry slot in here that you could see some of that. So Albany looking north, and that's where we would have the rotation for the time being. So nothing new, at least, coming through on. Let me see if does the chat have anything new that came through from the National Weather Service, and it looks like not at the moment.
I'm wondering, Warren, if this, so we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that is in that same general area. We actually have two. There's a new clump that's popping up to the south, and I wonder if that's going to take over for the tornado warning, because if we look at it on our Doppler winds, if we have something there, I think it's actually just southeast of Denver right now. If there is still a tornado there, it would be this spot right here. Let me pause this, and it's not as wrapped up as it once was. So right in this area is where we would have a tornado if one is still there. Those are some really strong winds that would be out ahead of that, but that would be the tornado just southeast of Denver if it's still there. So we do still have the tornado warning, but look, if we go back just a little bit, you can see how it's not as intense as it was near Gentry. It probably dropped something right there, and then it kind of spirals north and west a little bit. It was going due east. That was the track. It was due east at about 30 miles per hour. And then it gets close to the Harrison County line, and just kind of, there's still something there. I'm not saying it's not there.
We just got another from emergency management saying per radio traffic still on the ground crossing into Harrison County.
Okay,
so
well,
let's
it's still
treat it as
confirmed
it's still
tornado.
on the ground.
Okay.
One more thing, sorry. Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper has eyes on tornado crossing into Harrison County right now. So because we're getting away from the radar, as Luke mentioned, it's not as easy to diagnose for us here in the studio, but since we have eyes on this tornado, we are going to treat it as such. It is still on the ground. So it is now crossing over into the very far western part of Harrison County. They need to extend this tornado warning, and they most likely will, as it is now likely on the ground. So Martinsville here, we have kind of, it's a little hard to make, it might be more in this northern corner of this polygon right here, but the very corner of what would be Gentry and Worth and Harrison County, all kind of right in here. I think that's where my attention really is going to be on this rotation and tornado that would still be on the ground here. So definitely moving kind of out of this polygon here. Oh, there's a new one. So a new tornado warning has now been issued, and let's get the new update on it here. It's going to be a little bit more to the north. As we mentioned, it's kind of favoring and lifting up with that parent thunderstorm a little more to the north than it was. And that's going to be in effect here. Let's put the tool on it, and it's going to stay in effect until 5:15. So that's still 45 more minutes here. It's a new warning, and it's going to be moving east at 50. So it's really, Luke, really picking up here with this latest scan. They're thinking that these storms are going to start hustling out of here. Looks like the environment a little more favorable. Till 5:15, ping pong ball size hail also with this warning.
Yeah, they're cooking along. This one sped up. So it took a jog to the northwest where it was going due east, running right east of Gentry. And now it was going this way. Here's your new warning. Now it's going this way. So it kind of spiraled up. It seemed like maybe it went down for a second, then came back up. Confirmed tornado here. This is a new confirmed tornado warning. The tornado warnings come in several different varieties. You have radar indicated, which means they're spinning, could drop a tornado. And then you have Doppler confirmed, which is where we can see debris being lifted up, even if a human didn't see it. And then you have the other one, which is a confirmed tornado, which means a human indeed did see it. And law enforcement, this was a Missouri Highway Patrol trooper, spotted this one again. So now it's been spotted twice by law enforcement. It would be right here. There, it's well east of Worth, Gentry. All these spots over here in this tornado warning, you're out. All right, you're done. The warning is still there, but you would be in the clear. Now it's right on this triple point between Worth, Gentry, and Harrison counties. It's not as evident there now. Latest scan came in, but last time we said that we still got the report that a trooper had seen it. And moving east at 50. So this is going to be making a run toward Eagleville. Here's 69 Highway. Here's I-35. Still a tornado there, running east toward Ridgeway, Eagleville, places like that, Canesville. And it's right on that triple county line at the moment. So let me track that for you. Going 50. These things are cooking again. They did this yesterday as well. And I'm probably going to have to zoom out a little bit right about there. So there we go. Martinsville, 4:37. You've got about 7 minutes in Martinsville. Brooklyn, about 4:53. Ridgeway, we had your name up there earlier. We were showing you that. That'd be about 5:05. So that'd be about 35 minutes. If it's still there, Blythedale, that'd be about 5:11. So you would have about 40 minutes before it's in that location. Running east rather quickly. Hey, so we do have this confirmed tornado. I do want to take a moment and look to the south, though. We do have storms that are forming in a favorable environment. Whenever I say that, what I mean is we have metrics that tell us how favorable the atmosphere is, how much juice are we working with, how much spin is there, all those things. And this storm that's to the south is a severe thunderstorm, not a tornado-warned storm. But I want to check all of these because this whole area is got a lot of spin to it, got a lot of juice to work with. I do see a little bit of rotation around Kingville, or King City rather. See this little spot here? This is this zone right here east of King City. We're going to have to watch that. Not a tornado warning at this point, but something that we'll monitor. And I want to go back to Lawrence for a moment because this is kind of round one. This will not affect the Kansas City metro area. This is lifting to the north. Round two is down here. We were talking about 20 minutes ago about this cluster of storms out here not having done much, but also out ahead of that cluster of storms in this area that I'm circling. Again, a lot of juice, a lot of spin in the atmosphere, so anything that moves into that area is going to have to be watched. And I was tracking some storms near Lawrence earlier, which is in our coverage area. We have our storm tracker out there. I'd like to go to his footage in just a moment, right over Lawrence, where I did see a little something popping up there just to keep tabs on this. So here's Lawrence. It's just winds right now. It's not rotating. I don't see rotation, but I do see some powerful winds there. Let's go to our storm tracker if we've got them and see what it looks like in there, because this is going to be making a beeline toward the KC Metro. This is what we'll be dealing with coming our way. So we're out. We've got our storm tracker. We're staffed up. We've been prepped for this day for days. Yesterday was round 1. Today is round 2. I believe that this is right near Lawrence. Not a severe thunderstorm, but a thunderstorm that's going to be moving in toward the Kansas City Metro, and these are the kind that we're going to watch. Now, we do have the tornado watch on the north side of the Metro, points north. The question is going to be, will we see that watch get extended? What was that? John, go ahead. Okay, here's our Lawrence City cam. And yeah, you can see it's coming down, but that's just a garden variety thunderstorm right now. I mentioned that because I want you to know we're not forgetting about what's going to be happening to the rest of us, but we do have this confirmed tornado. I've got so now we're in Harrison County. This is out of Gentry County. You are done. It is out of Worth County. You are done. It's right here. So watch as, you know, Warren and I, we say this all the time, cycle up, cycle down. And tornadoes tend to do that, all right? So they drop, the supercells are spinning. We're looking at the parent part of the thunderstorm with rotation. We can't see the tornado when we're this far away, but they do this. They drop, they lift, they drop, they lift. Confirmed tornado warning here, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. So let's see if there's any towns in line. It's right over Washington Center. All right, so there is a tornado over Washington Center right now. As of last, we could confirm this was indeed on the ground. This is western Harrison County. Tornado warning goes until 4:45, I do believe. And next in line is going to be Eagleville, 69 Highway. Here's Brooklyn. Here's I-35. Depending on how this thing goes, it's had an erratic track, kind of spun to the northwest earlier. Could get toward Blythedale. I think it'll miss Ridgeway out here to the north, and it's going to be moving in this general region to the east, northeast. So let's get that updated track since we've got the new location of the tornado and see where it's headed next. She is moving tornado here. All right, 50 miles per hour. Next in line is going to be Mercer and Grundy counties. After Mercer and Grundy counties, this will be outside of our coverage area. In the meantime, tornado, Brooklyn, 4:45 p.m. Next in line would be Ridgeway. That'd be just before 5. So you've got roughly about 10 minutes in Brooklyn. You've got about 20 minutes in Ridgeway. Then Canesville at 5:20. We'll see if it's still on the ground through this stretch. And then eventually Princeton and Mercer, we'll keep tabs on it and see how it behaves from there. Warren, I've been focusing on the track. I don't know if you've been seeing anything on X on the chat coming in on your side. I think you have it over there.
Yeah, I have it up. I have nothing new. So still seeing, you know, that we're still treating it as if it's on the ground. But I have nothing coming in just yet.
Okay.
And I have our Facebook page up too. So if anyone safely can let us know what they're seeing if you're up in this vicinity, you know, once the storm passes, things like that. We would love your you know, reports, hail sizes, things like that. But of course, once the storm has passed through your area. So keep us updated with what you're seeing out there. Nothing new at the moment. I'm checking all social media that I can. There were people on this storm. As I mentioned earlier, though, we're struggling because there's multiple other thunderstorms around it, and it just creates hard viewing. It's not like your textbook supercell that you can get on the dry sector. I think a lot of these storms are starting to clash and form, and we've got boundaries in all different directions, and so that's why we're seeing so much rotation embedded within all of this. Just to rehash here, we do have a tornado watch in place. Those of you in northern Missouri, you've had many tornadoes and tornado warnings, but this does extend almost to the full metro, but it doesn't cut off at I-70. Northern Metro, you're a part of this tornado watch until 9. Chillicothe, you're also a part of this, and then all the way up into the Kirksville area. That does extend through Douglas County and over to Topeka. We have not seen any indication yet that they are going to extend the tornado watch to include the South Metro or Harrisonville, the Lakes region, just yet. So I don't have any updates on that. Or they could maybe go the severe thunderstorm route where they issue a new severe thunderstorm watch instead of a tornado watch. We'll just have to keep a close eye on that. But nothing new at the moment as far as reports go. I'll keep a close eye on that. We do need to watch the stuff that's coming in from the west, though, see how it behaves here in the near future. Right now, there are not any warnings on it. There were earlier in the day, so maybe our environment's not as favorable here. We thought there was good, fuel for these storms to get going. So let's just watch. Even a new little cell just popped up in Cass County here near Harrisonville. So we got to see how these act, because in this type of setup, storms can get going fast and turn severe fast. So just know, broad brush, especially those of you near the Kansas-Missouri state line in the metro, we have inclement weather on the way. We have lots of tournaments. We have lots of events right now. We have people out on the lakes. We have, whatever it may be. If you know anyone outside, or if you plan on being outside in the next few hours, please keep a close eye on the forecast. And likely, this is going to be a pretty noisy evening here as we go through the rest of our Saturday evening. Luke?
Yeah, totally agree. Hey, rain's going into Tonganoxie. Everybody always talks about the Tonganoxie split, and they don't get rain, and it always goes around. It's coming in there right now. All right, so hail tracker, I'll show you this real quick because this is back up in northern Missouri. Just so you know, whenever you have a supercell thunderstorm like we have that's producing the tornado, you're going to get hail. This could be up to 2-inch diameter hail, so that would be around Grant City. It's going to cross over 35 too, another hazard for driving in addition to the tornado warning. So let's get back to the velocity here and see what we're dealing with. Yeah, right there. It's about to cross over 35. It looks to me like it would be just southwest. Here's Eagleville. Here's Ridgeway. It's kind of got that northern turn, not going due east, it doesn't look like. We had Washington Center is where we had spotted it last. It is now just to the east of Washington Center. And I think next in line is going to be Eagleville. It's kind of doing this type of run. Pawnee. Use caution, be ready to go to your tornado safe spot. Right now it looks like it stays to your south. Hatfield, this is 46 Highway. It stays south of you. We're in Harrison County. This is western Harrison County. There's I-35. Here's Brooklyn. Brooklyn is probably going to pass to your north. And so we're going to be looking toward Eagleville. And then eventually after that might be on a track toward Canesville or Akron, somewhere in here. So just kind of draw that zone out. Something like that is where she'll be going next. All right, so let's see if we have anything coming through on chat. This is all for severe thunderstorm warnings. Any severe thunderstorm warning that goes today could produce, a lot of these are doing 1.5 inches. So that would be larger than, that'd be about a $50 size. That's kind of, that will mess up your car. But they're capable of getting up to egg size or even tennis ball size hail. We could have some really large hail out of storms today. The threat for tornadoes looks like it's on the table until about 9 or 10, generally is how it's looking. So we have the watch that goes until 9 o'clock up here where we have these tornadoes in northern Missouri. This one tornado, I should say, we've had multiple today. That goes until 9. And then there's another watch that's out here to our southwest in Kansas. That one goes until 7. And I think that if we were to see that watch get extended eastward, it might be a brief kind of short fuse tornado watch, and then that tornado threat comes down by about 10, we'll say 9 or 10, for the metro, 4 locations east of where the storms are. I'll show you the Doppler. And then it will transition into a heavy rain, heavy flood threat. So I know that we did not get storms in Kansas City yesterday. We had 2 confirmed tornadoes, but Kansas City was split. We were dry in between. We had them to the north. We had them to the south. Today, this is going to be a fire hose of stormy weather, regardless if it's severe. It has the chance to be severe. There will be a chance for these storms to want to spin even out of here. So this is kind of round 1. This will be round 2 that's going to be moving toward the metro. We've got our storm tracker in Lawrence. Lawrence just had a gusty thunderstorm, not severe, but in the metro, I want you to know that storms are moving in. That's happening, and it's going to be a lot of rain. As we go through tonight, there will be a flood threat. There's our storm tracker. It's just rain right now, but there is that threat for severe weather that does include the Kansas City metro. I'm seeing some storms fire up around Garden City, around Belton. This would be a zone that's being monitored. Need to check and see if we have, we've got a new
the
storm
watch is
report.
going to be issued. They are going to issue a tornado watch, Luke.
Okay, I'm not seeing that in chat. Where'd you catch
nope,
that?
It's come to the Storm Prediction Center, just put something out on X, and they're going to issue new tornado watch warranted. That likely will include the rest of the metro down into the Lakes region. Yeah, so that's coming shortly.
Very good. Thank you, Warren. That's great. I'm so glad you saw that. That just came through from the Storm Prediction Center. It beat our National Weather Service chat. That's what we were just talking about. This zone here, all of the metro is about to be issued into a tornado watch. That will include these cells. These guys out here, whenever you see them kind of form where they're away from a big string like this, those, think of the atmosphere as kind of like a gas tank. You've got all the, a bunch of fuel, a bunch of gas to work with, and these ones that are by themselves, they can tap into every bit of it. All these kind of have to share it, and they all disrupt each other. So these ones that are forming out ahead of that clump, got to watch those. We're going to have to watch all these. Tornado watch inbound for the Kansas City Metro. All right, back to our confirmed tornado. This is in Harrison County. It's moving east. It's flying. This thing's going at 50 miles per hour. It would be wrapped in rain. If you're trying to get a peek at this thing, not a good idea. You want to be in your safe place if you're around Washington. Well, it's just east of Washington Center and headed toward Eagleville. Looks like it's still west of 35. Right now it's west of 35. Looks like, again, may have kind of broadened out. It's not as tight as it once was. Let's go back. I'll show you so we can get a little comparison here. So this, at one point, you see right there, that's pretty tight rotation. And at this point, looks like it may have come out a little bit. So look at your grains, they're real broad here. So this is broad rotation. Good sign, doesn't mean that there's not still a tornado with it. With it being wrapped in rain, it's going to be harder for law enforcement, for anybody to actually confirm, is it there, is it not? We're not sure, but we're going to treat it as such because it has been. So we'll still say a confirmed tornado. It's just west of Eagleville. Let's see if there's any other communities here. Just east of Washington Center. I'd say it's probably right between Washington Center and Brooklyn. Looks like it'd be south of Pawnee. There's 46 Highway, 69 and 69 Highway. There's 35, moving toward 35 at a rapid clip at about 50 miles per hour. Might be going toward Canesville and Akron next after Eagleville. Fresh track coming in now. Let's start right here with the strongest. And before I do that, let me talk about this spot because you're going to have a rough storm out ahead of this. In Brooklyn, that's really high winds that are already be coming down. Let's see if I can get rid of my track right there. Let's see what the winds are out ahead of this, and then we'll get back to the track. Now, these are elevated winds. It wouldn't be quite as high at the surface. So those are 60, 70 mile per hour wind gusts will come before the actual tornadic part of the storm. Those extend over a big chunk of 35. I say that for driving purposes. You've got wind, you've got hail, you've got a likely tornado right up here between Eagleville and Bethany, up near the Iowa border, and moving east quickly. So here's your track coming in now. It's kind of difficult to decide exactly where the best, most likely area for the tornado would be. I'm going to say right here, just west of Ridgeway, because that rotation's broadened. It's not quite as obvious. We'll run it east at 50. That's our latest report. These things are really picking up in speed. So Brooklyn, it'd be about 4:48. So that is 4 minutes. You've got 4 minutes in Brooklyn. In Ridgeway, about 5:01. And the next in line, Canesville, we were pointing you out. Canesville, that would be 5:22. This is Harrison County. It's going to be going over into Mercer County. It's going to stay north of Grundy County. 5:46 for Princeton. So here's Princeton right there. Here's the tornado right now. In about an hour, it'd be here. Okay, so it's going to take about an hour to cross over into central portions of Mercer County. If it's still there, this one has been going up and down. This is the same cell that produced a confirmed tornado. Was it confirmed, Warren, that when it was back near Maryville, or was it radar indicated?
Let's see. We had a radar indicated tornado. I believe it was never confirmed.
Yeah. Okay. So it was a tornado warning. This is the same one that was back by Maryville.
Correct.
So it has a history, and then it went to a severe thunderstorm warning, dropped, lost its rotation, picked back up. So out ahead of this, just know that even if we do lose there it is. It's back. It cycled back up. So you can see, obviously, that's where it would be, just west of Ridgeway. Let's see if I can spot anything with our debris tracker. We were able to do that yesterday, even far from the radar. I'm going to zoom in here and see if this thing's throwing any debris up that we can detect. That would help us determine if it is indeed still there. I can't confirm that. I don't see that sign necessarily. You get a blue ball. A blue ball pops up on this. Whenever you see these colors, that means that you've got a tornado for sure, and it's picking stuff up. Now, you can have a tornado and it be going over a field, and it's not throwing enough stuff up into the air to show us on radar, especially way high. But there's our rotation. There's our tight couplet. Just about to cross 35, everybody. So looks like it's east of Washington Center. If there's a tornado, it's past you in Washington Center. It looks like it's probably just north of Brooklyn, right here between Brooklyn and Eagleville, just west of 35. It's going to stay south of Pawnee. It's going to stay south of 46 Highway. And if it goes this way, it would miss Ridgeway. We're not sure that that will happen. Might be headed more toward Akron, something like that, or Canesville. Here's Canesville here. Here's Akron, and moving quickly at 50 miles per hour. Okay, so we've got the new tornado warning. This was as of 2 minutes ago. Let's see if we've got any update here. Tornado warning for southeastern Worth and northeastern Gentry is canceled. So the tornadic thunderstorm which prompted the warning has moved out of the warned area, and the warning has been canceled. Okay, good news there. Is that the same one? Let's see at 444?
I think that was an older warning they still had in place.
Okay.
We still got one till 5:15.
I see. So it jumped way back up. Here we go. This is the latest. Scratch that. Tornado warning in northeastern Gentry. Warren, see, it says 444. Tornado warning southeastern Worth and northeastern Gentry.
Let's see. I got one at 4.
Yeah, because it's passed out now. It's in Harrison
and Mercer.
Okay,
correct.
it's odd how that was phrased. So yeah, we do still have the tornado warning. Let's go to the. It was just kind of confusing how that was. It's no longer considered confirmed. That has been dropped because we haven't had eyeballs on it in a while. We're just going off of rotation. So we can't say for sure that it's there like we could earlier whenever some law enforcement officers had spotted it. There's another severe thunderstorm warning just to the south. Let's see if this one's spinning. If it's one that we've got to watch, doesn't look like it's got much with it. Certainly not like up by Eagleville. So if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning by Pattonsburg or just north of there toward Bethany, not seeing signs of rotation there. And we get away from that. You see how these cells are blossoming down here? I have to watch those and see what they end up doing. They've got free runway to strengthen. And Kansas City, here's for the metro. This is going to be a fire hose of rain regardless. Stormy evening heading our way, stormy night heading our way. There is a flood risk tonight. You could run into flooded roads. Flash flooding would be a concern. This whole thing is all shooting out. Our radar is going to be limited. It can only go down here into Oklahoma, but this is all one big heavy line of rain. It's going to shoot our way and bring the potential for severe weather through the evening, and then the severe weather threat will diminish but not go away after about 10 o'clock. The main focus in the tornadic threat would go away by about then, and then we could be looking at some strong storms, hail and high winds, but a lot of heavy rain for a long, long, long time through the night tonight. Some of us could see 4 inches of rain on top of what we've already had over the past several days. Since Thursday, it has been raining around here, so that's what's going to be moving in next. So just while I'm here, if you're wondering how this is going to play out through tonight, let me show you what we're looking at. This is our line of storms now. See how the computer forecast grabbed these supercell thunderstorms up near the Bethany area. We're looking at Harrison County. So it picked those up, did a good job. That's round 1, that's round 2. See what you can expect as we're going through the night. See how we've got kind of 2 distinct lines and then they merge into one. This is what radar may look like by 6. And these ones coming in out of the west from Lawrence, look at Ottawa, see those? Computers are telling us favorable environment, could become quite strong, could be moving with another severe threat from line 1 up here by Chillicothe or so. This is by 8 o'clock. And now we'll get into 7, 8, 9. I think that would be primary severe threat for the metro. We'll say between 7 and 9. Maybe a little sooner because the storms are already knocking on our doorstep. There's 10 o'clock. Now it starts to turn into one big blob. These could be producing some hail and high winds. Shortly after this, the tornado threat will go away. And just look at the rains. Everybody, it's just going to stick with us. All right, so really heavy rain through the night. This is 5, 6, 7 a.m. It does not go away once it gets here. I'm not saying that you won't catch brief little breaks, but in general, think a lot of really heavy rain for tonight. That's why we have the flood watch in effect. So back to it. Let's go up here by Eagleville. Tornado warning no longer confirmed, but it may still be there. We cannot say that it isn't just because this thing would be all wrapped up in rain. All right, so spinning right about 35. Let's check the latest location. There it is. Right over 35 is where this would be, 69 Highway. There's Eagleville. It would be right around Eagleville. It's kind of broad again. So there's 69 Highway, there's Eagleville, there's 35. Here's Blythedale. Looks like it would probably be in this zone, maybe just south or near Eagleville or over Eagleville. That's possible. And moving east at 50. Next would be Canesville. Let's see if there's anybody else here. Blythedale, maybe. We should include Blythedale. They certainly have a threat. And this is in north central Harrison County, with a severe thunderstorm warning until tornado warning until 5:15. Let's go east as it crosses over into Mercer County. I'm gonna have to ignore this. I'm gonna have to zoom out so I can get you an accurate track here. I was in too tight. Going east at 50. Fast moving tornado here, fast moving. Okay, so Blythedale would be 5:01. So that would be just under 20 minutes there. So some of these other communities that I mentioned didn't quite get picked up by our tracker. 5:20 Canesville, Saline would be about 5:27, but the first one that it got was it Blythedale? There you go. Okay, so moving in there, we'll say about another 10 to 15 minutes in Blythedale. It's over Eagleville. It's over 35 as we see right now. Okay, Warren, let's go over to you. Let's see if you have anything new or if I missed anything coming through from X or Facebook.
Yeah, so we are going to, I was just working on this graphic behind me here. We're going to have this watch, tornado watch, extended. It hasn't extended just yet, but I'm hearing rumblings that it will go through midnight. So these counties in orange likely through 9-ish, and then the rest of the, I don't know how far southeast it'll go, but I would assume probably a lot of our counties that are in gray right now, Johnson, Jackson, down into Cass, you know, you get it, over onto 70 to the east, likely will be added to that tornado watch, and that will go in effect when it's issued and then stay in effect through midnight. So that would be kind of the next development here. Again, nothing just yet. The National Weather Service is working with the Storm Prediction Center for coordination on that. I'm also back up on that storm to the north. Let's take a look at it here again. And was seeing signs or rumblings also from the chat that there is nothing new coming from it, and there's no signs of any new lowerings or anything like that. So we think that this is just going to continue to be radar indicated rotation with this warning, and just some hail and gusty winds as this area of rotation continues to move to the east. So this cell right now in Bethany, just to the southwest of Bethany, is warned for severe thunderstorm warning, and it likely has a nice little hail core with it here. So if you're in Bethany right now, likely be ready for some really frequent lightning, heavy rain, and even some hail, potentially up to quarter, maybe ping pong ball size. That's going to continue to kind of congeal with all this together. There's a lot going on for sure. This is a different setup than what we had yesterday. Yesterday was a very isolated, supercell type event. Today we have many different cells that we have to watch and more of a cluster or line right now. So this is all going to continue east, northeast with this specific batch, but let's take a closer look. Again, we don't have good indication that anything is left on the ground here with this, but still take it serious if you're in that tornado warning. Thankfully, though, it looks to be at least wrapped up or elevated at this point, elevated rotation. This stuff that's coming in to the south, it's interesting. It's when we look at these little cells that are popping up, we watch for lightning to be added. So that's a good sign that a storm or a specific cell is starting to strengthen. So it starts as a little shower, then a quick downpour, and then if you get lightning to be added to a few of these fast, that's a good sign that they could take off and maybe become severe. So this field right in here is definitely worth watching. This is now east of the Kansas City Metro, east of I-35, so over towards Chillicothe. We have a little tail that's down near the Carrollton area. We're getting into Ray County as well as Johnson on the Missouri side. Cass, Jackson, there's a couple little cells that are all starting to pop. These are not severe. I'm not saying they're severe right now, but they're definitely worth watching. And now let's travel back over the state line onto the Kansas side, or at least near the Metro and the Missouri River. If we take a bit of a deeper dive in here, we have one little cell that just went up north of Blue Springs. No lightning with that just yet, but traveling west on I-70, Leavenworth County, you've got some nice lightning right now, so that's a good sign that this might starting to be strengthening a little bit. Leavenworth, some heavy rain coming into your area. Wyandotte County, you'll be next, as well as western Johnson, and now Douglas, of course, is. Let's take a look at Lawrence right now, where they have some just some light to moderate rain and a couple of thunderstorms that just went through town. So Eudora into DeSoto, you'll have some heavy rain. Baldwin City, quite a bit of lightning for you, and a heavy thunderstorm in Ottawa as well. So you get the picture. All this is coming in now from the west, and not severe though. So That's a good sign, but this activity down near Wichita and into the southern Flint Hills is. So all worth watching for sure with the ingredients we have in place. It won't take much, I think, for some of these to get going on the stronger edge of things. So I'll let you know as soon as this watch is expanded. I would expect it here probably in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes probably, maybe a little bit longer as they're coordinating with the Storm Prediction Center. But there will be a watch. If you missed, there will be a tornado watch extended to include the southern metro and then also down into Cass County, down probably into the Lakes region as well. And we will let you know as soon as that is extended. Luke?
Yeah, that's the way. So the way it works is the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center, which is an arm of the National Weather Service, they have to connect because all the watches come from one spot. That is the Storm Prediction Center. They give 95% confidence that we will get that watch pushed further south into the southern metro and much of the rest of the KCTV5 coverage area until midnight. I show you this because look at the rain tonight, just to highlight how stormy tonight will be. The flood threat, 2, 3, 4 inches, maybe pockets of 5 inches of rainfall overnight tonight from this big clump that's moving into the southwest. That's going to be our next, and moving in now, this is what will be the main event for the metro and surrounding areas for tonight, coming with that tornado threat. Let's go to our storm tracker real quick, just show you some live pictures coming in out of the General Lawrence area. This is what's going to be moving into the metro rather soon. Right now it's just garden variety thunderstorms, but that's coming in and strengthening potentially, might strengthen. Let me check and see if anything out here is spinning up. No, I just see some gusty winds around Bonner Springs right now. Might have some gusty winds. Not seeing rotation. Good sign there. We hope that that trend will continue. Let's get back to the tornado and see what the latest is with this warning. We've got another 17 minutes on this tornado warning. This is in Harrison County. This is, if you're just joining us, why we're on TV covering this is because we've had a history of this one producing a tornado. It's been spotted by law enforcement officers and made it to the ground. It happened twice, and it crossed over from Gentry County into Harrison County, and looks like it's just around the I-35 area near Eagleville with this warning that goes until 5:15. Let's see if that is still current. There it is, 5:15. So western Mercer County, you're included in this as well. There's our latest scan. Looks like it's probably right about here. What's interesting is this was moving at 50 miles per hour, but it hasn't seemed to move a whole lot as that circulation kind of has parked out over Eagleville. Let's see if we can spot it on our Doppler winds. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's out ahead of the notch. It's right here. It's now past Eagleville. So it's in extreme northeastern Harrison County. It's broad rotation. That's why the National Weather Service is continuing with the warning, because there is still rotation with the storm. Can't confirm that it's there. This is kind of broad. It's not super tight, but it looked like that earlier, and then we got a report that there was a tornado with it around. It's probably west of Akron. Here's Andover. It's probably in this general zone between Andover, Blythedale, and Akron, in extreme northeastern Harrison County. Let's see if there's anybody else in here. So we've got State Highway if you're in the area. Right now it's closer to Akron. Okay, so this is Akron. This right here would be, we've got State Highway O, that is up here. State Highway UU, so it's probably a rather rural area of northeastern Harrison County. This is East State Highway O, East State Highway UU. This is East 130th Street. Here's Akron. If you're in Akron, be in your safe spot. This could track towards you. It might miss you just to the north. We're really zoomed in here. Let me pull it back out a little bit. Looks like it's going to be just south of Andover if it continues moving east-northeast. And it was at 50. Let's see if that's still the case. 50 mile per hour move. That's a moving tornado. That is a moving tornado. Could have 1.5 inch hail with it too. So this was 45 miles per hour as of the latest. Let's go here. And they were saying east. It's been moving east-northeast more likely. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a northeast jog, and it's going to straddle this line up here in Mercer County next. So northern Mercer County. So we'll say Lindley at 522, Morgan 533, Lineville at 543. So we've got 15 minutes left on the warning. We'll see if that gets extended, what the National Weather Service wants to do with that. So that's our only, this is our only one. This is our only warning, severe or tornado warning in the area right now. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings just to the south So this storm is rotating, possibly producing a tornado. This right here is the Iowa state line. It may cross over into Iowa here. If it goes north, we're not sure if it's going to move north or east. It's kind of at times moved north and then it went east again. These things can be a little bit erratic like that. To your south, severe thunderstorms. These have been producing 1.5 inches hail and up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let me show you the hail with these. If you're up in this area, watch it track in. The bigger hail is actually up to 1.5 inches. That would be about $half size hail. That's moving in toward Eagleville, but we are getting at least some severe hail with some of these storms that are moving by Bethany. See that one tracking in. Here's another one just north of Trenton, south of Princeton. With the hail threat, and within any of these you can get gusty winds. I haven't seen 70. The potential is there for 70-mile-per-hour winds. I've not seen that yet. It's been 60 so far. Warren, did you see anything earlier that was higher than 60 miles per hour with the, because if you look at the potential in the atmosphere and the watches come with information of like what are the peak wind potentials, and it was up to 70 or 75 miles per hour. I don't think we've seen that realized, have we?
No, so everything's been warned for 60s, mainly 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter to ping pong ball size hail. But really with those storms we've been tracking, the rotation has been the biggest thing. Pivoting to, we actually just got this tornado watch issued. So now pretty much everybody watching this is under a tornado watch until they expire at different times, but let's just go ahead and say until midnight. Some of you farther to the west, these storms will move through your area first, and so that will drop off from west to east, but a lot of us are going to be included in the watch until 12 a.m. So let's just go ahead and say till midnight, and this does include now the southern metro down to the Lakes region, Harrisonville, Cass County, over to Johnson County on the Missouri side as well. It does include, Lawrence, Douglas County, pretty much everybody, again, watching this. So that is new. That's just been updated. I'm pushing it out on our social media platforms and everything, but that will be in effect here for 7 hours. So if that just gives you an idea of the rest of this evening, while we probably won't have a widespread tornado outbreak, still we could have some rotating thunderstorms and even just some hail and frequent lightning and really heavy rain. As Luke mentioned, this turns into more of a rain event later this evening, where we then also have a flood watch that's in place later tonight into early morning tomorrow. But this is the big thing. Tornado watch, that means ingredients are favorable. When it turns to a tornado warning, that means take action. That means imminent danger. So watch for now, and that is obviously something that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, all those little cells that have been popping up. And let's look at some of them. Let's look at the metro right now. We have a lot of you been trying to monitor our social pages and feeds and streams and all that. We have a lot of you asking about the metro, and so let's just take a close look. Let's look at the 435 loop. A lot of us actually drive for the time being, but those of you near the Missouri River, Leavenworth, you have a stronger thunderstorm overhead, but probably just more so on the heavy rain, frequent lightning, maybe some gusty winds. And then this does carry all the way down to I-70. If you have to travel west on 70, I suggest not. I think this will be a pretty noisy line of storms that's going to be in place for a while. And then even just some heavy rain, even all the way out to Topeka and then down to Wichita, where they have some strong thunderstorms now. So 70 and 35. If you have to travel southwest on 35, I also suggest not. If you're going to be out and about here for dinner, we're getting to the dinner hour. If you had plans this evening, please make sure that you have multiple ways to receive those weather warnings. I'm not just saying this because it is our weather app, but our First Warn 5 app, weather app, is so handy just because it lets you know if there's lightning in your area. It lets you know if there's heavy rain. It lets you know if there's a tornado warning issued or whatever it may be, and that can keep an eye on you as you travel around the area and through this evening. And then, of course, NOAA weather radios are really nice to have as well. So radar becoming much more active as we speak. And if you are just now joining us, I did want to mention that we have a tornado watch now for everybody. This was just extended here in place until midnight. I'm having some issues with our graphics here, but
that's all right, Warren. I'll take it. Tornado watch now extended for the entire metro. Everybody that can see us is under a tornado watch. Goes until midnight for the metro, especially the southern part of the metro. But just think tornado watch until midnight. It's just kind of easier to think of it that way. Hey, let's check out some of our cams. John, if we could pull up our Nebraska Furniture Mart cam. We're up here on the northwest side of our loop. There's a storm moving through there, or if we've got the Shawnee Mission Medical Center. So it doesn't look bad right now, but we've got this storm moving in. Is that what we're looking at the moment? Is our Village West Parkway cam, okay? So storm moving in there. The metro's about to get noisy, everybody. We've got storms moving in with this potential severe threat. Nothing severe out there now. We've got our storm tracker. He's out in Lawrence. Lawrence is in some thunderstorms right now, not severe, but all that moving into an environment that's juicy. It's got a lot of spin, and it could produce some tornadoes. Speaking of tornadoes, let's go back to the Doppler radar. Let's take Max 1, and we'll check out this tornado warning that we have in northern Harrison County. Looks to me like this is just about Max 2. Am I on Max 2? Let's go Max 2. Bring it back here to the Weather Center. There's our weather tracker. They're out in Lawrence right now. We've got a tornado warning until 5:15, so this is another 10 minutes, just about 10 minutes. But I think it's about to cross over into the Iowa state line. Let's see what we have. It went more north than east, and it also looks like it's winding down a little bit to me. I don't see rotation there now. I think that this is going to be the end of the line for this tornado warning. Watch, you can see it here. There it is around Eagleville. Red grain, real easy to spot. Now we spiral it ahead, and it loses that green. It's just the reds. You're not getting the winds going in opposite directions, and it would be right there. So now it looks like it's out of Harrison County, moving into extreme northwestern Mercer County. This is the Iowa state line. If it's there, it's just about to cross over. We'll stay with it as long as we have the warning, but this is one, moving out of our area rapidly and out of our coverage area, and two, coming back down in strength. So let's see what that. Go back with this scan here. Yeah, you kind of lose it. This thing cycled up and down multiple times, but it's moving out of our area regardless, okay? So there's our current tornado warning. If we had this would be just to the northwest of Lindley. It'd be right around between, if you're up in this area between Pleasanton, there's Saline. It's right about here, just south of Pleasanton. Looks like it'd be south of Saline. If there's anything at all there, last we heard that this was confirmed was some time ago, probably about 25, 30 minutes ago. And things looking much better there. So if that trend holds and this thing's about to move out, then we'll be returning to programming soon. But we probably have a busy night ahead of us. Warren and I'm going to be here through the night. Warren's going to be here through the night. We're going to be watching this whole thing. You know, today's risk is in parts of our coverage area. You rank them on a scale of 1 to 5, and down here by Garnett, and we get into Anderson County. It's a level 4 out of 5, which only happens about once a year for our region on average. So something that we need to take seriously, and storms they're popping up, all right? So see how they're just percolating all across the area. Those are the ones that could be strong, and we've got that new tornado watch that's coming in. It's already in, it's in until midnight, and this is all a big fire hose of rain. So while we still have the tornado warning, let's go to our DMA forecast track. So this is how it may play out through the rest of tonight, just to give you an idea of what we're working with. Severe threat on the table. Any of these storms that you see, you got a lot of pinks, a lot of bright colors. These could be supercell thunderstorms that rotate up until midnight. After midnight, it's all about the rain, and a lot of it through the night. It's going to be noisy. You're going to hear a lot of lightning, and tomorrow morning some of us could wake up to as much as 2, 3, 4 inches of rain on top of what we've already had. So we're getting up on 6 minutes left for this tornado warning. Warren, are you seeing anything come through on the chat?
Yeah, we just got something new. Just new tornado warning. It looks like there's one on the ground near Spickard. So let's go ahead and dive into that. That is going to be in the northern part.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, there it is. So let's stop this here. This just came in. I was actually looking through the chat, and there's emergency management reporting this tornado on the ground. So tornado on the ground, tornado warning till 5:30. It's going to include 4 different counties. It's going to include Grundy, Mercer, and then Putnam and Sullivan, not ours. But I'll move this up so you can see it a little bit better. But Grundy and Mercer, this is like the southern part of Mercer here. So Spickard, let's just get a tight look on this rotation. So here's Spickard, and then here's Mill Grove. This is Highway 65 here. So Mercer, Grundy counties, just right on that county line. And you see this tight correlation, this tight couplet, I should say. And that latest scan just came through, and it's still showing a pretty good, it's almost like it was moving more east instead of northeast. But the far southern part of Mercer County, that's where we have that good rotation right now, and reports of a tornado on the warning box here is red. It's not black, so it's not a confirmed warning, but still they're talking through the chat that there's reports of that. So again, a tornado on the ground here in southern Mercer County, and let's get you a little bit of a better look at, so between Mill Grove and Half Rock, and this is moving to the northeast and around 40 miles per hour. So this is, it's still moving pretty quick, and it will be kind of out of our area here in just a second, but we do have a new tornado warning in place till 5:30. So please, yeah, go
what
for
we
it.
heard, so I'm just seeing this come through on the reports, as of, what was it, 2 minutes ago, there was an emergency manager out of Grundy County, and it said that we had one that was on the ground, and as of right now, we just got a new one that says the tornado has lifted. So that's what these things have had a history of doing today, is they drop, they're down for a brief while, they lift, and then they tend to drop again. They're called what we call tornado families, where they go up and down and up and down. It's all from the same parent storm, but they've been cycling up and down. Let's get another peek at it. So I was zoomed in here on the metro, see if we had any strong winds coming through. We don't. We've got just some, kind of gusty garden variety thunderstorms, but with the watch and with the conditions, we're going to track all that closely. I know a lot of you want to know about the metro and what we're dealing with for tonight, but here's our tornado warning. There's another little spot up here with that cell that we were tracking earlier. Does it still have the warning? So up here by Lindley, that one was looking like it was going to spiral away. Let's see.
It might have expired.
I think it expired. Let's see. No, it's still there. We still have the tornado warning. That goes for 3 more minutes. It looked like maybe it kind of popped back up. So anyway, the one that we're talking about now that's new, this is in southeast Mercer County and just north of Spickard. So it's past Spickard. Let's pause this. So here's Half Rock. This is Half Rock right here. This is 65 Highway. Here's Mill Grove. It's east of Mill Grove. It's west of Half Rock. Right about there is where that tornado would be. It's got more of a northeast motion than the storms previously, which have been going kind of more east. Let's see what the latest tornado warning was saying. They're still saying east at 50. But it's obviously been moving a little bit north, so let's roll that back. It's got a northeast. So let me get a track on this one. This is going to be heading up the right east side, so the east side of Mercer County. This is our farthest northeastern county in our coverage area. After that, it's going to cross out of our coverage area, but we care about everybody in our coverage area. If we have a tornado, and one that at one point was confirmed, we're certainly going to stick with it. So let's go kind of like this. This is how it seems to have been tracking. And it's moving again. All these things have been cooking along at about 50 miles per hour. So Newtown would be possibly next in line. That'd be 5:38. That's a little bit of time from now. So we would have roughly, call it 20 minutes, and then Medicine. And Medicine would be at 5:51. That should put it up here, and that would be out of our coverage area. Let's see if there's any other little towns that we've got here. If you've got your television on and you're watching us, I want to make sure that we get you and that you are alerted to this. Looks like it's very rural up here. Probably stays east of Princeton. It's east of 65 Highway. It's south of 136 Highway, moving in a direction to the east-northeast. And quickly, all these have been going about 45 to 50 miles per hour. That's solid rotation. Let's get back to the chats. Let's see what we have there. Anything coming in? Hey, we earlier had a tornado in Worth County. No known major damage reported there. Good news. It was a brief one, went up and down. And now we have this one that is in Mercer County. And it may or may not be on the ground. It lifted. We had eyeballs on it, and then it went back up last that we had seen. So that's the latest with that tornado warning. Have you seen anything? I would love to show pictures or visuals. If you have anything, Warren, that has come through on X or Facebook, anything like that, that would be good to see. I kind of doubt it. We've had a hard time. And a lot of these have been wrapped up in rain, so we don't anticipate to get a lot of those whenever you get to rural areas and rain-wrapped storms like this, but just asking if you'd seen anything. I've had a lot coming out of Kansas.
Right. Yeah. Nothing I've seen so far. We're getting actually some, and our mobile weather tracker is out on the Kansas side. There's a lot of lowerings right now that look a little ominous. The biggest thing is you got to look and see if they're rotating, because we can get something called scud, and it's clouds that get picked up in an updraft, and so it can look super scary. But if we don't have rotation, we obviously a good sign that that's not a lowering or a funnel or anything like that. But you know, we're going to keep an eye because the environment is ready for rotation and funnels. But at the moment, I was looking actually through our tracker there, and sorry, a little close there. I was looking at our tracker picture, and that was a bit. It looked like a lowering potentially, but again, you have to look for some of the rotation, and that would have been closer to Gardner. And right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of rotation in Johnson County at all. But yeah, we'll keep a close eye on all of that, and we appreciate. I've seen actually quite a few pictures of maybe some scud coming in or just lowerings. The cloud base is pretty low today. You've noticed we're very humid out there, so the drop point from our thunderstorms is definitely on the lower end. So we'll watch for any of those. No pictures though of that tornado warning to the north either just yet.
Okay, Warren. So just an update here. We no longer have the tornado warning that was up here. We were talking about Eagle and Ridgeway. This was in Harrison County that crossed over. It looked like it lifted right at about the Iowa line. That's it right there. There's Ridgeway. That's a tornado that we were monitoring earlier that had a history of being on the ground. That one lifted. It's out of our hair. It's out of our coverage area, and it's gone. So this is the new one. This is Mercer County, extreme southeastern Mercer County. This is west of Harris. It's southwest of Newtown and southeast of Princeton, east of 65 Highway. Let me get you the regular radar view here. We'll turn the lightning off. It's going to be right, let's pause it. It's going to be right about here. You probably won't see this. There is this little notch, what we call a hook echo, and this is trying to wrap rain around it. The tornado would be embedded somewhere in here. Not sure that you would be able to see it, not that you want to be out looking for it anyway, but just heads up there in extreme southeast Mercer County. Now they've got the warning moving northeast rather than east, so that would be next moving into Sullivan County, and that would be toward Medicine and Newtown. Technically not part of the KCTV5 coverage area, but if you can see us there, heads up in Newtown, heads up in Medicine. You got to watch this storm very closely. Okay, so let's, big severe thunderstorm, big complex. See all these? 1, 2, 3. All these cells here capable of producing up to 1.5 inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. We could see some 70s before the day is done. Haven't seen that yet, but let me just loop this over the past hour. We'll get a quick kind of broad view of what's going on through the rest of our evening and let you know what you can expect. So the event is underway. This is a late day event. We anticipated for the metro that this would be sometime after 3 o'clock. Here it is 5. Storms moving in. We have a tornado watch, if you're just joining us, for the entire metro area. I'll pull that out. I'll show it to you here quickly. All right, so this is everybody in the KCTV5. Oops, sorry, Warren, that was yours. I went over to Max 1. Let's keep it on Max 2. Here's our watches. This is new. If you're just joining us, the entire KCTV5 coverage area is under a tornado watch. It includes the entire Kansas City metro. That goes until midnight. And these storms that are moving in, that was just recently issued, what, about 15 minutes ago, something like that. And this line of storms, not only is it going to be a noisy, stormy, very rainy night with a flood potential, but these kind of percolating and coming in out of Ottawa, bubbling up into this atmosphere could spin. I have not seen that yet. So we have our storm tracker that's out in this. He's in Ottawa. Let's go to Ottawa real quick. Let's check in with the storm tracker, see what we're working with there. These are just at the moment, you know, stout thunderstorm, but they're just thunderstorms. Let me pause this now and see where he's at. And if there's anything that stands out there, not even gusty winds right now. So good news there. So far, so good. But, you know, yesterday we had a very high ceiling. You can see some lowerings there. See our storm tracker showing some lowerings. That is not a wall cloud. That is not rotation. We're not seeing that there. But just to our southwest of Garnett. So let's get back here. You see this line of storms? Let me get the lightning off. You'll get a better picture of it. This is coming in out of the Eureka area. There's Moline, here's Emporia, this is Blue Mound, here's Kansas City. So down here, a lot of these are producing tornadoes or spinning and could produce tornadoes. That whole clump is going to be moving up into the coverage area too. So something else that we'll be tracking as we go throughout this evening. It's all in the northeast. This whole thing, there's a big fire hose of rain that's going to be moving toward us through the rest of tonight. It's going to be an all night long event, the severe threat up until about midnight. And we have the flood watch as well to cover that. So let's get back to the warning, see if we've got anything with this tornado. So last I'm seeing, let's show you the warning that's up here in Mercer County. We've got a new report coming in. It's this cell right here. It's that right there just to the west or southwest of Newtown in Mercer County. rotating wall cloud. So somebody does have eyes on it. Doesn't say any funnels, no funnels with this. So at the moment it looks like this is spinning. It could produce a tornado at any time, but it likely is not right now. That report was from just 2 minutes ago. So we've got our emergency manager up there checking this thing out. Let's see where it would be. If it is there, it's about to cross out of our coverage area. It's just about to exit Mercer County and head into northern Sullivan County, just southwest of Newtown. It'd be right here. Here's Harris. It's west of you, Harris. It's going up here toward Newtown, toward Medicine, and it ought to be there pretty quickly. It's going about 50 miles an hour, so we'll track that out one more time. Something kind of like this. There's 50, and that would put it in Newtown 534. So you've got about 12, 13 minutes, something like that, in Newtown. Then Medicine would be next at about 5:45. Okay, so that's the story with the tornado warning. Doesn't look like it's down. Looks like there's rotation there. There's certainly rotation. It's not that tight. This has been tighter previously, so that's probably what happened. This was another cyclical storm. There you can see the green. Watch, we'll lose the green, and the tornado lifts, and that's what we're getting out of our reports from the emergency manager that we have there. So that's the latest on that storm. Give that one about another 15 minutes. That one will be out of our area. We do have more severe thunderstorms behind him. And what happened was we had a tornado warning right here. That is this storm. Watch that one. That was a tornado warning that we had previously in Harrison County. And then the storms to the south took over. This one fell apart, then this one took over. Watching these down here to see if there's anything that could be a threat next at spinning. Let's investigate that. So we have severe thunderstorms, not seeing rotation, not seeing anything there, so I don't anticipate that we'll do that play again. So good news there. Otherwise, it's hail, it's gusty winds, and these are just heavy, heavy thunderstorms that are moving in from the southwest. Let's see how the rest of the night plays out. Here's a look at the forecast radar as we work our way through the night. This one is doing a really good job. And, you know, I know yesterday we didn't get storms in Kansas City, and some of us are thinking, another tornado watch, you know, is it going to happen? We don't know. We're just saying that the threat, the potential is on the table for tornadoes to develop in the strongest storms through this evening. So that'll go till midnight. This is what radar may look like in about an hour or so. There's a little bit longer. Now notice it's got this kind of a snake line. This is round one, this is round two. Round two moving closer and deeper into the coverage area. As it does, it probably strengthens. The reason why this environment all through here is favorable. Something that we did not have today that we had yesterday was nighttime and morning thunderstorms. We were dry last night. We were mainly dry this morning, so we didn't siphon off any of the fuel in the atmosphere. So we don't have the cap problem that we had yesterday that prevented the storms from forming yesterday. They're coming. They're already here essentially, and they could be quite stout. So this is 8 o'clock. What radar may look like. That could be severe. These could be severe. These may want to spin. Don't know that they will. We're just going to monitor that threat, and then it's heavy, heavy rain. After midnight, severe threats coming down, and look at it, just hang with us, all the way through tomorrow morning. This could be 8 hours, 6 hours of really hefty rain. I'll show you what we could deal with rain-wise for totals, just so you get an idea of the flood threat for tonight, because we do have the flood watch. There you go, 3, 4, 5. I mean, some spots tonight could pick up a half a foot of rain, and we've already had in some spots 2, 3, 4 inches over the past 3 days. So the ground is certainly saturated. There's our flood threat. Warren, I see that you're checking something out. Is that southwest of us?
Yeah, so just wanted to keep an eye on some new activity that's coming up from more of the Wichita area, now through the southern Flint Hills, and then now it's going to make a little bit more of a line towards potentially like Anderson County, Lynn County, and the areas yesterday where we had some strong storms again. So here's Chanute, and you know, this is again southern, pretty much getting out of the Flint Hills here, but Yates Center, and so Burlington, again, this is all south and east of the Turnpike, and so I'll show you where this relates to Kansas City, and there are tornado warnings and strong storms. This has just been a really rocking cluster to our south. So the way this is all tracking, it's more east. This part of the line's more east. This is coming up a little more northeast. So we're going to have to see how this interacts with these tornado warned storms down here. it could destroy it completely. They could, thrive together. We'll just have to see. But this is all, again, lifting up to the north and east. So that's when I'm turning my attention more to this area now. Don't want to discount these thunderstorms coming into the metro as we speak, because they're likely pretty noisy. We have definitely some gusty winds potentially in there. Not severe or anything right now, but some heavy rain pockets as well. And so, yes, this stuff down here is kind of what I'm watching to the southwest of Kansas City. I also just want to, I'm seeing our mobile weather tracker in the distance again. I just want to reiterate, there's a lot of very low clouds today, a lot of different lowerings that look like they maybe could be, a wall cloud or a funnel this is near Gardner here, looking out. And you need to really watch for rotation. These scud type clouds, we call them, get caught in the updrafts of the thunderstorms, and they condense in there, and they can look very scary for sure. But that's one thing how you can differentiate those and an actual area of rotation. The parent thunderstorm too will be rotating with a tornado. So those are a few different just things to watch out for. I keep seeing them in the back, and my attention goes over there, and I realize there's not any rotation or anything with them. So something to keep in mind on the leading edge of this as it comes in. I've had a lot of questions just about the metro. So let's just look at the metro right now. And we have definitely, I'll put the lightning product on. Not a ton. I mean, there's definitely some lightning out there, but not a ton of lightning. These storms are doing okay. They're not really accelerating at all. And so they're generally moving in from west to east, and they have some lightning, they have some heavier rain, maybe a few areas of gusty winds, but this is now coming into the western 435 loop, so near the Legend shopping area, and also into the Olathe, northwest corner of Olathe, Shawnee, Lenexa. You have a heavier thunderstorm, Edgerton, Gardner, and then even a few pockets of some heavier rain on the east side, on the Missouri side, Lee Summit up into Blue Springs, Independence, over to Grain Valley near the Pleasant Hill radar, Lone Jack. So this is all generic thunderstorm activity. It could be loud, likely some heavy rain associated with it, but no severe thunderstorm warnings right now. That is what we'll watch. This environment, we'll see how these storms interact and whatnot. But again, that cluster down to our south definitely has my attention on it for sure, and we can we'll keep a close eye and see how that lifts up into this direction. Luke?
Yeah, not too far from Anderson County and Lynn County, so as it rolls northeast, that could be the next one that we go to. This is our northern arm. That's kind of round one that we dealt with starting at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is the main event. That's what's going to be coming in through the rest of tonight and be very persistent. We won't get rid of that one like we shook this northern arm rather quickly. So let's get back to the tornado warning. It's still ongoing. This goes, they just extended till 6, but does it include, it's a very, very northwestern side, or eastern side rather, of Mercer County. So let's see what we have here. This is our new tornado warning. So this is the same storm. This is the old warning. So Princeton, you're long gone with it. This right here is the Mercer County line. Here's Medicine, and the tornado box goes like this, the warning box, and that goes until 6. So let's get that popped up for you. And it is not confirmed, still not confirmed, so that goes until 6. Let's investigate this and see where the spin would be if there is a tornado there. It's likely right on or just past the Mercer County line. This would be moving into extreme northern Sullivan County, it looks like. Kind of in the area of Newtown is where it would be if there's a tornado. It's essentially Newtown right now. Could have some small hail with it too. Let's see what the latest warning, what else is coming in with it. It's labeled as a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado, so we don't have eyeballs on it right now. It is spinning. We see that on radar, and it's probably on the very eastern side of Mercer County, now crossing over into extreme northern Sullivan County. I don't see a good picture of it here now. Let's go back and see where it's at. I mean, we still have the one. See the bright color pop up there? That was some spin way upstairs, and then it kind of went down. We lost it. Good sign, but we do still have the tornado warning. Something else popping up down here to the south. That would also be in Sullivan County. So that would be technically outside of our coverage area. So around Newtown, you've got your tornado warning. That's going to go for another half hour. Could have some hail in there with it too. Doesn't look like it's all that wrapped up right now, but we're so far from the radar, it's difficult to tell. Let's track this one anyway. All right, so let's see, and we're going to treat it as such, as though there is a tornado there. It's had a history of doing that today, and see where it's going next. It's been moving east-northeast at about 35. This one's not going quite as fast. The other ones were going 50 miles an hour. So it's right here, going this direction. We'll go 35 with it. This would get it in Medicine. That'd be 546. So that'd be up in about 15 minutes. And then it'd be Genoa. That'd be about 619. And then Unionville Municipal. That's right here. That is actually outside of the warning box. That one would be just under an hour, about 50 minutes away. So that's the latest with the tornado warning that we have. That it does include still portions of extreme eastern Mercer County. Looks like the rotation's right about here on this county line, this Triple Point County line that's up there with Sullivan. This is right along 139 Highway. Here's 136 Highway. This will probably be moving up to 136 Highway. If you know of anybody that may be up here, let them know. Not a good time to be up there driving around on 136 Highway, east or west between Mercer and Unionville. Let's see what else we can spot with it here. I can check if anything's being shown on some of our other products that we've got. We've got our debris tracker. It's always good to check our debris tracker. Sometimes these things, tornadoes, they can throw debris up into the air and we can spot that. I do not see that now. It'd have to be fairly strong to be this far away for us to be able to spot that, and not seeing that at the moment. So again, another half hour with this tornado warning, extreme eastern Mercer County. Go ahead, what was that? Okay, Warren, let's head over to you. Let's see what you've got.
Yep, so actually I think we're going to be able to let that warning go to the east of our coverage area. We are watching a large area of rain and thunderstorms invade on the metro right now. I just want to make it a point, there is no threat for a tornado at this time with any of these thunderstorms. We do have a tornado watch. That means that could develop, but right now this is just all kind of a noisy thunderstorm batch. So we'll keep a close eye on all of this new stuff. Some of these cells a little stronger in northern Missouri, and we will definitely keep you updated and jump on if we need to. But right now we're going to gather some new details coming in, and we do have a newscast at 6 p.m. It is an hour long. So Luke and I and Gianni will see you then. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you here shortly.